Hello everyone. In today's tutorial we are going to see the multiplication and addition rule, the probability, mutually exclusive, and an independent event. So let's first start with the addition. In addition rule we have A or B. So A or B is the same thing as A union B. And therefore, A union B is the same thing as saying probability of A plus the probability of B minus probability of A and A and B. So therefore, this is you have to write this down because it is a formula it will use in solving different kind of question under addition rule of probability. So but there is one thing that I need you to know in mutual exclusive. If A and B are mutually exclusive, let's say mutually exclusive, the probability of A and V, it is equals to 0. But why the probability of A or V, it is equals to probability of A plus plus probability of A. But you have to take note of that. If A and V are if A and V are mutually exclusive. So if they are mutually exclusive, this should be 0, and therefore A or B should now be probability of A plus probability of B. So if we take a look to multiplication, let's say we have multiplication rule. So in multiplication, let me talk about the conditional probability. In conditional probability, whenever the probability of probability of A against B, it is equals to the probability of A and V divided by the probability of A and V divided by the probability of probability of B. So the probability, I'm looking for the probability of A and B. If I multiplied both sides by by the probability of B and multiply this by probability of B, this will cancel this. So therefore I'll end with probability of A and V, it is equals to the probability of V multiplied by the probability of of A against of A against V. Also, if this interchange, the probability of V against A, it will now be equals to the probability of A and A and V divided by the probability of probability of A. If I multiply again both sides by probability of A, probability of A, this will cancel this, and therefore probability of A and V should now be equals to the probability of V of A multiplied by the probability of probability of A. So also here is another formula. So therefore this formula, it is very important, and this one, it is very important. So there is what we call the independent events. If we say independent event, it is whereby an event is dependent on another event. Suppose I have the probability of of A of B. So this is the probability of A of V. It is the same thing as probability of of A, and probability of probability of V and A is the same thing as as probability of probability of probability of B, because this depend on on this, and also this probability of B depend on on this. So but there is one more thing that I need you to know, is that in independent event, the probability of what? Probability of A and what? And V is the same thing as probability of A multiplied by what? Multiplied by probability of what? B. And also the probability of, again, A and V is the same thing as what? The probability of what? B and what? B and A. This is an independent event. The probability that a student passes mathematics test is 2/3, and the probability that he passes both mathematics test and statistics is what? 14/45. The probability that he passes at least, which is meaning the what? A union B, at least one test is 4/5. What is the probability that he passes the statistics tests? So let's say mathematics, it is what? Let's call mathematics as what? B, probability of B. Let's say star as what? As what? Okay, let's say mathematics as A and this as what? B. What is the probability that is passes a mathematics test? So therefore probability of what? A should now be what? 2/3. Yes. So what will be, and the probability that he passes both mathematics and what? Mathematics and star. So therefore P and what? Probability of what? A and V, it shall now be 14/45. The probability that he passes at least, which means the probability of what? A union V, this should now be what? At least one, which is 4/5. What is the probability that he passes statistics, which is probability of B, which is unknown? So you have to recall to addition what? Addition rule. The addition rule, it says that the probability of, let me recall the formula. Yes, it says that probability of A or B, it will be equals to probability of A union B is the same thing as what? Probability of what? Of A plus probability of what? B minus probability of what? A and B. Yes. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I have the probability of A or B, which is what? Which is 4/5. This should now be equals to this. This is probability of A or B. Probability of A or B, which is 4/5. It will be equals to probability of A plus what? Probability of B, we are looking for 8. And therefore minus probability of A and B, which is 14/45. So if I kept this probability of B as it is, so this should now be equals to what? So I have to say 14/5. When this crosses the equal sign, it will now be minus what? But when this first crosses the equal sign, it will now be positive, plus 14/45. And when this crosses, it will be minus 2/3. So what will be the LCM? LCM 45 can go. So if I say 45 into 5, what should I get? So I'll get 9. 9 multiplied by what? 9 multiplied by 4, it will give me what? 36 plus what? 45 into 45, it will give me 1. 1 multiplied by 14, which is 14. And therefore minus what? If I say 45 into 3, I should get 15. 15 multiplied by 2, which is 30. So I have to add them. I have to say 36 plus what? Plus 14 minus what? Minus 30. This should now be what? 20 over what? Over 45. So this is the same thing as saying 20 divided by the value of 45. This is the same thing as what? As saying 4 divided by what? Divided by the value of 9. And therefore 4 divided by the value of 9 is same as 0.44. So this is the probability. They say, what is the probability that he passes the statistics test? So this is the probability that he passes what? The statistics tests. The second question says that if 2 dice are thrown together, find the probability that the sum is what? The sum is greater than 8 and neither 7 nor what, nor 11. So we have to take a look to what, to the first question. It says that greater than 8. So the probability of what, the probability that the sum is greater than what, the sum it is greater than 8. So we are going to see how many numbers are greater than 8. 9 is greater than 8, 10 is greater than 8, 10 and also what, 11 and 12 are greater than 8. So let's see what are we going to get. So we have to take a look and see if two dice, we have two dice, it consists of what, it consists of 6 possible outcomes. So but it thrown, if two dice, we have two dice, so therefore we have to say the 6 raised to the power of n, it is equal to the value of 6. What is 6? It is 2 what, if 2 dice, so therefore I have to replace this n as 2, so this should now be what, this should now be 36. So therefore we need to have the outcomes of what, of 36. So let's say 6 raised to the power of n here should now be equal to 6 squared, which is equal to 36. So how many possible numbers are in this 36? So I have to say that I will have 1, 1, I will have 1 and 2. So as you can see, these are the what, these are the total outcomes that we have if what, if two dice are thrown. Because we are talking about two dice, a dice which is 6 raised to the power of what, n, should now be equals to 6. The n, it means how many times should dice it thrown, or whether what, or dice, or what, or coin. So therefore you have to put the power, and 6 square is the same thing as what, as 36. So we must have the total outcomes of 36. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you say 6 multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so you are going to get what, 36. So what should be the probability? The probability of S, it is greater than what? S, it is greater than 8. So how many possible numbers are greater than 8? The probability that S, it is greater than 9 should now be probability of what? S, it is equals to what? How many numbers are greater than 9? Okay, how many numbers are greater than 8? We have 9. And therefore plus what? The probability of S, it is equals to 10, and plus the probability of what? S, it is equals to 11, and plus the probability of S, it is equals to 12. So what is the probability of what? Of S, it is equal to 9. So I have to take a look to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. So I have to take a look to this. Probability of whereby what? S, it is the same thing as 9. If I take a look to this, 6 plus 1, it is 7, it is not 9. 6 plus 2, it is what? 8, it is not 9. But if I take a look to 6 plus 3, it will give me 9. So I have to take a look to this. I'll say like this. I'll have what? I'll have this. As you can see, these numbers that you are seeing, they are what? They are equals to 9. S, it is equals to 9. So therefore 9, it is greater than 8. So 6 plus 3, it will give me 9. 5 plus 4, 9. And therefore also it's 5 plus 4, it will give me what? 9. And therefore I'll have 6 plus what? 3, it will give me 9. So I have to take a look to this and say this should now be equals to, I'll have 6 and what? 6 and 3. And therefore I'll have 5 and 4, 5 and 4, and therefore I'll have what? I'll have 4 and 5, and therefore I'll have what? I'll have 3 and what? 3 and 6. So what will be the probability? The probability should now be 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore I should now have 4 divided by the total outcomes, which is 36. So I'll have 36 here. So the next thing is the probability of S, it is equals to 10. Probability of S, it is equals to 10 is what? So I have 9. If I say 6 plus 4, yes, I'll get 10 here. So therefore I have to say again, I'll have this. So this should now be, I'll have 6 and 4. 6 and 4, and therefore I'll have 5 and 5. 5 and what? 5 and 5, and therefore I'll have 4 and 6. 4 and 6. So what will be the probability? 1, 2, 3. So therefore I will say 3 divided by what? The value of 36. What is the probability that it is equals to 11? 11, I have to take a look to this. 6 plus 5, 11. 5 plus 6, it will give me 11. So I have to say 5, 6, and I'll have 6, 5, 6, what? 5. So this should now be equals to 2 divided by the value of what? Of 36. So what will be the probability that it is equals to 13? Okay, 12. Because there is no probability, because 13 is greater than 8, but we don't have the probability of getting 13, but we are left with only probability of getting what? Of getting 12, only 1. So therefore 6 plus 6, it will give me what? 12. So probability of getting 12, when the sum it is equals to 12, shall now be 6 and what? 6. So it is equals to 1 divided by the value of what? Divided by the value of 36. So what is the next thing to do? The next thing to do is that I have to sum them. So this should now be equals to, I have to say 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Because they have the same what? All they are 36, they are 36. So the LCM is the same. So therefore I have to say divide by what? Divide by 36. So what is the next thing? If I said 4 plus 3, I'll get 7. 7 plus 2, I'll get 9. 9 plus 1, I'll get 10. 10 divided by the value of what? Divided by the value of 36. So 2 here, it will give me what? 5. Let me say 10. If I say 10 divided by the value of 36, automatically I'll get what? 5 over what? 5 over 18. So therefore this is the probability of getting okay, the probability that the sum it is greater than 8. So this is when the sum it is what? It is greater than 8. The next question says that what is the probability of getting neither 7 nor what? Neither 7 nor 11. So how can we get the probability of getting neither 7 nor 11? The same procedure that we are going to do is that we have to take a look to this and see 7. Where are we going to get 7? So in here, if I say 6 plus what? 6 plus 1. Yes, 6 plus 1, I'll get 7. So I have to take a look to this. I'll say this will give me 7. Yes, I'll get 7 in this. So what will be the probability? So therefore the probability of getting what? Neither 7 nor what? No 11. So probability of getting neither 7, let's call the probability of getting neither 7 as what? As A. The probability of getting neither 11 should be what? Should call it as what? As B. So therefore I'll have 6 and 1. I'll end up with 6 and 1. Let me do like this. I'll have 6 and 1, and therefore I'll have what? Let me clean this. A, I'll have what? 6 and 1, and therefore I'll have what? I'll have 2 and 5, and therefore I'll have 3 and 4, and therefore I'll have what? I'll have 4 and 3, and therefore I'll have what? I'll have 5 and 2, and therefore I'll have what? I'll have 6 and what? 6 and 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this should now be equals to what? 6 divided by the value of what? Divided by the value of 36. So what is the probability of getting neither 11? So therefore I have to say V should now be equals to 11. As we all know, we already find 11. Yes, we have what? 5 and 6. And therefore we have what? We have 6 and what? 5. So this should now be equals to 2 divided by what? 2 divided by 36. So to find the solution of this neither, we have to take a look to this. We all know that A, the probability of what? of A complement and what? And B complement is the same thing as 1 minus probability of what? Probability of A union what? A union B. So the next thing to do is that we all know that A union B is the same thing as saying probability of A plus probability of what? Of B. So I have to say 1 minus probability of A plus probability of what? Probability of B. So I have 1. So I have to say minus probability of A. I let this to be probability of A, which is 6 divided by 36, plus what? Plus the probability of what? Probability of B. Probability of B, which is 2 divided by also by 36. What should be the LCM between this and this? The LCM, which is what? 36. 36 into 1, it will give me 36. To multiply by 1, I'll get 36. This into this 1, multiply by 6, I'll get what? 6 plus what? The same thing, I'll get what? I'll get my 2. So, the next thing to do, if I say that 36 minus 6 plus 2, what should I go into get? So, therefore, I'll get what? I'll get 32 divided by the value of what? 36. If I say this divided by the value of 36, so at the end, I'll get what? I'll get 8 divided by what? 8 divided by 9. So therefore, this is a probability that the sum, it is neither 7 nor what? Nor 11. So this is the end of this multiplication and addition rule of probability of mutual, exclusive, and independent events. So this is all I have for you for today. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Have a nice day and do share to your learning colleagues. Thanks you for watching.